Hello one and all, Pipes here again, checking in with development video number 4 for the abandoned cinema scene stroke 80th Street scene. In video 3 we left it where I was blocking out the interior of this pub that I created in CryEngine. We're now blocking it out to use the UE4, Unreal Engine 4, to take advantage of the physical based lighting setup, and also for my own development so that I can actually use both engines. The last time we were looking, I'd started blocking out the interior of the pub. As you can see here, it's pretty much all blocked out now. Probably some more details to add once I start putting things together in the Unreal Engine. But here we can see now we've added in, fleshed out the arcade machine a little more. What else have we got? We've got taps. The bar area is pretty much complete. I rearranged some of the shelving and added in sort of like a bottle bin there, a normal bin. There'll be glasses under here and everything to add in. Further bottles on the shelves. The optics pretty much complete now on there. Last orders bell, and also a piano. Let's see what you might find in one of these old 80s pubs, an old Joanna piano. A few beer mats, and again another arcade machine over there, which I might change into a pinball machine. I'm not sure. It depends on time restraints, because I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can and make a good job of it, but try and give myself certain deadlines as well. Speakers at the top there. Cigarette machine still needs to be fleshed out, as does the jukebox. We've got the lights in, some lights over the picture frames, and stools and tables, chairs, ashtrays, cigarette packets with some cigarettes in there. There'll be some smoke ones, blunts in there, and also closed packets of cigarettes. And in the corner we've got the dartboard. So as I said previously, we were doing everything in a modular fashion. As you can see, everything's broken up. I'm thinking for this will probably be all attached together as one modular piece, along with the bar, so that we can get a nice tiling texture and make sure that it tiles nicely across the bar, because they are slightly different in size. That one's slightly larger than that one, so it might cause a problem when it comes to the seam tiling up there, when it comes to unwrapping it in the UV for textile density to keep it uniform. So what I did from this point, once I'd got all these pieces all blocked out, then it was time to look at doing some concept art. So, because I did draw out on pencil and paper, just drew out the basic layout of where the bar would go, where the seats would sit and everything. But what a lot of what art directors do, they determine what the style will be for the scene, what sort of mood they're looking for, lighting, colour variations and colour schemes. So what I did from there was I created a concept. So I drew one up, and here it is. This is the actual the comp file with everything together. So I've broken up all the individual assets, gone in and hand painted some things, and took some reference from CG textures, added that in, and then painted over the top, and just added in different details. So this gave me some sort of basis for what I want the bar to look like. So with the varnished oak, the brass going around the top and the bottom, the Artex on the ceiling there, or stucco if you're in America. Wallpaper on the walls there, and also what colour carpets I was looking at and everything. So what I've done is I've got this layer stack. It's quite a large layer stack. I'm going to call it comp. So we've got the bottles at the back, so they're coloured. Vents, there's just a vent there in that corner. Windows, signs, and they're all split up. And what I can do is, because I've got clipping adjustment layers clipped to certain parts, such as the tables there, the wood on the tables, I can go in and I can bring up this hue saturation, and then I can change the colour accordingly. So obviously it wouldn't have purple tables or anything like that, but as you can see, I can lighten the wood, so I can see what it looks like if the wood is lightened, take out some saturation of the wood. So now I've got kind of darker tables there rather than the same ones that they are in the bar. But I'm thinking of having a lacquered varnished type of table anyway that you'd find in these 80s pubs. Same as with the bar, that'll be quite smooth wood because it'll be varnished, as you do find in British pubs. So yeah, we've got all these layers going on. There's the stools. Now you're probably wondering how I got the actual the base of the shadows and everything. Now I could have gone in and hand drawn all this and with perspective, get perspective lines in there, actually draw it from scratch. But a great thing to do, because we've got that blockout at the moment in Maya, we might as well take advantage of that. And what a lot of concept artists do, I'm not saying every concept artist, but a lot of art directors and concept artists will do a paint over. And this is kind of what this is. This is a paint over to get the kind of style that you're looking for and sort of like the mood of the lighting and everything. Best way to do this is go into Maya, and I created some camera bookmarks. You can go up to view and you can create some predefined bookmarks. They're the predefined ones. You can go into it, you can actually edit bookmarks, and wherever you move the camera you can add a new bookmark. And then what you can do is when you go to here, bookmarks, you can go to these different camera views. I was looking at perhaps doing one from that angle, and then I thought, well, let's have a look. Let's see what the camera view 2, that's just slightly back, so this was into the scene, so it kind of draws you into the middle, gives you some sort of direction. And then I thought, well, what about from the other side? So I went to camera view 3, that's just further back, sorry. But when I did decide to go to the other side, camera view 4, that's the one that I decided upon. So what I did from there was I just put in one point light. Just put in one point light there. I could have had some lights coming through the windows, but I thought I'll just keep it quite basic. I just want shadows that's going to just go across from this point light there, so it's like that one light is on, that one's not, so we can get some sort of mood and atmosphere. And so I can also see then how the texturing would look and the colours from the bright spectrum to the darker spectrum over here. So I get a nice gradient going across. So I did a render, and this is what I got. I added a slight orangey yellow tone to the light so that I'd have a base. Now here I've got all my composition, I've got the shadows, and I've got everything in effect drawn out. So what I did from that point was, when I wanted to isolate something, like if I wanted to isolate the bar, I'd get the bar, take for example that fascia there, and say I just want to paint that. So what I would do is I'd go to the Hypershade. I've put that on the custom shelf. It won't let me drag it across for some reason. Ah, there it is. So what I would do is I'd just go in and say I've got white here. I'd apply white. Try it again. Apply white just to that piece. For some reason it's not. It is in full colour mode, so I don't know why it's not quite working. Assign to material? No, try this one. Try checkerboard. Right. I don't know why it's doing the other side and not that. Anyway. So, I'd apply either a checkerboard or a certain texture to each of these. That's bugging me why that's not working. I'll have to have a look at that, but it doesn't matter anyway because it worked before. So I've got a checkerboard here. So then what I'd be able to do, I'd keep that as one colour. I'd re-render that out. And then in Photoshop, I could use the select colour range, and then that would allow me to just go in, select that white colour, take down the fuzziness. That would give me a selection. So if you imagine the selection would have been sort of like there where the white was. And then I can isolate that, and then I can just paint on that part. So instead of having to go in really close and kind of painting in there and just trying to make sure and using masks and whatnot, I can just get a straight selection, and then I can just paint within that selection, not worrying that I'm going to be drawing onto anything else or painting on anything else. So once I'd done all that, and quite happy with this colour scheme, is then I created a final composition file, which is the final shot, with more vibrant colours, added some more things in. as you can see, added some twinkles onto the actual lights and painted the arcade machine properly and everything. And I used different adjustments, so there's different adjustments here. So this is the final, and that's just got some carpet things going on. So that's the comp again. This is just some overlays that I've added on over the top, some dirt and grime and things like that. And then I've got some adjustment layers as well. Let's have a look. And what the adjustments are just doing, I've got a hue saturation, I've got a colour balance, which is just very slightly taking some of the red out of these chairs. They were just a little bit too much, so very slightly just taking out some reds. Again, the brightness. And then that's the final adjustments. I composite all those three together, put that into a final layer. I'm just putting a little grime on the carpet that I forgot to put on there. And then just put the old signatures on there, and this is the picture. So from this point on, I now know that I want to have that kind of wallpaper colour. This is looking nice with that sort of darker wood. I mean, you could go in and have textured this, but at least now I've got something that I can try different things out with. If I want to change some colours, I can just go back into that other file and just change the hue saturation, or even try different things. A lot quicker than having to go in, UV unwrap everything, and then start applying all these different textures and getting all these kind of colours together, when I can look at it as a whole now. So now I know exactly that I'm going to have those red chairs, that kind of wood, dark wood there, brass there, and this is in effect how the pub will look. Obviously we'll make it a little more grimy and get some more details going on, but this is, at this point, this is where we are. So what I'll do is I'll also post this picture so that if you want to take a closer look, you can look at the full resolution version. The next video we'll be looking at will be going back to the main scene here. And actually we're going to start breaking things up into pieces and start texturing. I'm going to be using Substance Designer and Substance Painter for texturing. Just got a couple of licenses for those, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's a fantastic texturing program, Substance Designer. It gives you so much power and it gives you so much speed. The reason is you can create your base materials, link them all together. Using a colour mask, you can then apply each of the materials to the model or to any of the pieces, and then in fact what you're doing is, instead of doing all the node based shading and texturing within Unreal Engine 4, you're doing it in Substance Designer. But what that allows you to do is then you can cross-platform. So if I wanted to go back to CryEngine, I've got all my materials set in Substance Designer, and then I can just export out maps quickly to a different engine. Whereas if I did it in Unreal Engine 4, everything's bespoke to Unreal Engine 4, and I can't really move them about as easily. So, and also it's another program to learn, because a lot of the top studios are using Substance Designer. So it's very important to understand that. So I'm hoping everyone is having a great time doing their own 3D work. If you want to have a look at my portfolio again, it's www.rpiper.co.uk. Find me on LinkedIn, Facebook. Send me some messages if you've got any questions or queries, and I'll be happy to answer them. So I'll see you again when we come to video 5. That's bugging me. Don't know why. Anyway, thank you. Goodbye.